Our top 5 movies that Rob Zombie should remake.
Yeah.
So this should be interesting. I have, of course, most of the ones I have are comedic. They're really not, well thought out because they're just purely just taking that specific movie and doing it in his style would be funny as hell.
Yeah, and I think too. I by the way you're saying that, Pat, I made decisions based on also how the media would handle it, how fan bases would handle it.
Right. Yeah, that too. There's so many variables, but that's how I did it. And well, if you want, we'll just start. Well, just go clockwise. I'll just start. So my number 5, this was one of the ones that came to me right away too. How great would it be if he redid this because of the way he does things so gritty and so visceral and grainy and do a real good remake of Death Wish.
Wow.
Yeah. Because the Bruce Willis one was shit.
What's his name with the mustache? What's his name?
Charles Bronson.
Charles Bronson. There you go.
And I even go so far as to say, like, who would, he if you go through, because Rob Zombie always has a typical cast of characters. What if he could have like Bill Moseley do it, or even Tyler Mane do it?
Yeah.
If you
Daniel Phillips, right?
Jeff Daniel Phillips. If you're gonna go, or even I'm gonna crawl over here and skull fuck the shit out of you. Why am I drawing a blank on his name? William Forsythe.
Oh, William Forsythe. That's right.
He's got a nice pool of his usual people that he could easily pull somebody from and do a real gritty grindhouse Death Wish version.
Go out of nowhere. Pick Marty Cove, even though he always looks like a bad guy.
That'd be a bloody good time, man. That'd be a bloody good time.
That's my number 5. Shout out, Rob. Do a Death Wish remake.
There you go.
Oh, you guys are funny.
We're talking number 5. Now, this one has already been remade, but how about his take on Assault on Precinct 13?
Okay.
That's really good. I like that. That would be really good.
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
I'm not a fan of the remake.
No, the remake sucks balls.
Yeah.
No, the
straight
remake
ass
is
show.
Not exactly the same, but I think with the craziness, action, and chaos he does with it, and he'll add his take on it. He can set up a good cast ensemble, I think, for a remake. So yeah, Assault on Precinct 13, number 5.
Neighbor, nothing but trouble. Could you imagine?
Fucking John Candy, Chevy Chase movie.
Yeah.
Could you imagine that? Could you imagine? Wait. Could you imagine with the Dan Aykroyd with the dick nose?
Oh yeah, that's right.
How bad the dick nose would be if Rob Zombie was doing it. It would be like this. It'd be like a John Holmes nose.
That's an ensemble type of movie, so that's what he does. The ensemble type stuff with his cronies. That would be a good idea.
Last show, Fred. What's up? Speaking of Charles Bronson, if you guys have ever seen the original House of Wax, I have, but not in a long time.
Oh,
Charles Bronson plays the assistant. That's right. Yeah. And if you guys go watch my no, actually I didn't put it on my top 30. It's one of the better. If you go watch my top 30 Twilight Zone episodes, there's a real good episode with a real young Charles Bronson and who's the girl? The woman from Bewitched, Elizabeth Montgomery.
Oh, really?
And they play like it's supposedly they're like two people survivors of a war, and they're like following each other, and like he's trying to just do what he's doing, and she's like still in the war mindset, and then at the end they come together, and it's like a quiet story. They don't talk, and like if you read into it, their names are supposed to be like Adam and Eve. They're supposed to be the two people that they're going to rebuild after the war.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it's a real young Charles Bronson and a real young Elizabeth Montgomery, well before Bewitched.
Later, GK.
We'll be talking. We will be chatting.
Glad you got your ticket, bud.
Yes, look at that. Slasher Fred knows it. It's called 2. Very good episode.
Very good.
Didn't make my top 30. It's a great episode because there's 156 episodes of Twilight Zone. It was hard to whittle it down to 30, and I did one honorable mention simply because Donald Pleasance was in it, and my number 2 were 2 William Shatner episodes. So, yeah. Shout out, great Slasher Fred that you knew that. That's awesome. I'm a big Twilight Zone fanatic. Go check out my 30 on the channel. My number 4 is something I thought of this because I brought it up. I think it was last week I brought it up. How gritty and grindhouse would it be if Rob Zombie did a remake of The Wizard of Oz? Remember how we talked about a Wizard of Oz remake? I'm like, could you imagine? Like the Wish would be so brutal. Brutal. You know, he probably had, of course, you know, Sherry Moon Zombie would be friggin' Dorothy, of course. You know, but could you imagine if he plucked from his cast of characters? So you figure like the Tin Man could be like Daniel Roebuck. You know,
That's funny.
the Scarecrow like Jeff Daniel Phillips. How fucking fun would that be?
That would be
It'd
really
be
cool.
nuts.
That would be so much fun. So
That really would be.
Rob Zombie, Wizard of Oz.
Stupid.
Oh,
I guess I got my number. I got a pretty good list. I ain't gonna lie. My number 5, and I'm sure you know this one, Pat. I love that movie, Night of the Comet.
Oh, I love Night of the Comet.
So I could just imagine, you know, like the zombies and the girls, and how he could really put his Rob Zombie spin on that film. Dude, fucking Night of the Comet from 1984 all day. Rob Zombie, do it.
and they're working. Somebody's working on a remake. It's early stages of it, though.
I thought I heard. I think
It came up when I met the two girls at the flashback.
That would be cool. That's one of my like guilty pleasures. That movie right there, man.
It's an unknown movie for a lot of people because I jumped and got a photo op with them right away when they were both there.
Fuck yeah.
Hey, what's up, William? William says, I've always wanted someone to do a messed up version of Wizard of Oz. Rob Zombie would be, he'd be perfect.
Absolutely.
Perfect. It would be so much fun. Yeah. Even if he did, you know what? Even like he has that, what the hell is the cartoon? Super El Beasto?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Even if he did a cartoon version of it, would be fun. You know? It'd just be a lot of fun.
Okay, here you go.
What do you got, Brady?
Here's where the controversy's coming.
Uh-oh.
He did a Halloween 1. He did a Halloween 2. Let's see his Halloween 3. Let's see his Silver Shamrock.
Oh,
let's see it.
Shit.
Let's see it. Let's go. Let's go.
Brett,
I
didn't even
I never
think
thought of that.
That's
never
good.
even.
You're good. You.
Let's
You're
just
good.
do it.
Yep.
Just do it.
Yes,
I'm
you
not
are.
saying- yeah.
Yes, you are.
Brett,
You.
that's awesome. I can't believe that didn't even pop in my mind. That's great.
So
That's
who would play?
awesome.
Who would play Chalice? Who would play Chalice? Who would you pick? of his
Holy
cronies?
shit! Who could? Play
So
that?
who in his arsenal is a man whore?
William Forsythe, right?
I could see Forsythe doing it.
I
That'd be
just
fun.
remember him in Deuce Bigelow. Remember, he's the cop. He's complaining the size of his dick. Remember that? He's like, look at this little thing.
The only thing is, he just Forsythe would have to be banging Sherry Moon because she'd have to be Ellie Grunbridge.
Oh,
Because he's got to shoehorn her into the movie somewhere.
Oh yeah, that's right.
yeah, but there's got to be nudity here. Is she really going to get there? I don't think so.
Well, you know what? There was no nudity in the original H3, but actually a zombie movie's going to have some nudity in it. But, every movie you see her ass, so she's going to show her ass. That's all she ever shows.
Now, who's going to play the witch, of course? Who's going to play...
Ooh.
Who in his arsenal would be a good Connell Cochran?
Oh, my gosh.
Let's think about that.
No, what's his name? Drake. What's his name? Drake. Yeah, Malcolm McDowell or Drake. Richard Blake.
Oh, Richard Blake could do it even though he's younger. I think that would be
Richard
good.
Blake.
He's
Richard
got
Blake
that eerie
or
look
Malcolm
to him.
or Malcolm McDowell would be really good too. Because I liked him as Loomis, not as Dick Loomis in Part 2, but I thought he was good in the 07.
I thought it was a good, especially because he's British, right? Or is he not British yet, right?
Connell Cochran is Irish.
No,
Irish,
I meant but Loomis. You're saying Loomis for that,
right?
Yeah, for he's Irish is the whole Silver Shamrock thing. That's
He's
right.
Irish.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's a good pick though, man. Good fucking
Halloween
good
3.
idea.
Why not?
Slasher Fred says if they did do a remake of Wizard of Oz, I think that Judy Garland's daughter Liza Minnelli should play the role of Elmira Gulch and her counterpart, the Wicked Witch. Well, they'd have to do it soon because Liza Minnelli's getting long in the tooth. She's getting up there. Well, there's another daughter too, isn't there? There's another daughter that I can't remember her name, and she's a little bit younger. I remember that 90s there was a cartoon spinoff of the 1930s. There was, and also there's also the real bad the disco remake. Remember The Wiz with Diana Ross and Michael Jackson?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was rough. The Weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah.
Oh man, could you imagine?
I can seriously say that's really good. That is
good. That'd be a
good.
lot of fun. I'd be the first person online to go see that.
The new film remake by Rob Zombie. Fucking oh my god.
Oh my god.
This one, I I have no clue why this one popped in my head. This one popped in my head, so I just wrote it down. It's a little underwhelming, but it could be real grindhouse, it could be real dirty, and it could be real Rob Zombie if he did a remake of Tootsie.
Tootsie.
Where you can see like Jeff Daniel Phillips really like glammed up like a tranny.
That is funny.
You could just see, and like Daniel Roebuck could be like oh God, what's the actor's name who died? That had the hots for Tootsie in the movie.
Dustin Hoffman?
Not Dustin Hoffman. No,
he was
Tootsie.
No,
Jessica Lange's dad in it.
Oh, Charles S. Durning. Charles
Durning. So you get like Daniel Roebuck to be like the horny guy chasing after Daniel Roebuck, chasing after like Jeff Daniel Phillips as Tootsie. I mean, come on, how fucked up would that be?
That's good.
I want to backtrack. How did we come on this topic? Did we talk about a movie that he should do?
I think so. I forget. Then we were about to start throwing them out there, and I was like, wait a second, this would be a good top 5. So let's.
We had talked. Yeah, we were talking about something about Rob Zombie. Something Rob Zombie-ish. Yeah, and then you came up with the idea.
I'm curious because is it Joe's turn?
Yeah, Joe. Yep. Joe's good because Joe's next because I did number 3, which was Tootsie.
Okay, my number 4, I would go. Oh damn, I'm gonna go. I went with Tremors from 1990. So
wait, did you bring that up? I think that's what brought it up.
It might have been Tremors. I think it might have been
Tremors. You mentioned
because that's why I asked because I thought it was Tremors then. Or Willy Wonka. I thought we were talking about Willy Wonka too, because that's up next on my list.
We were talking about Wonka. We were talking about all these movies. That's right.
It's a Wonka.
He's right. So I was thinking Tremors because think of his cronies and Val and the college girl that could be played by whoever, and then his take on the little town and like the monsters could look all creepy. Like I just thought Tremors was a good idea.
Oh, Tremors, yeah. Well, I didn't have Willy Wonka on it, but I was thinking that's how it came up, that or Tremors now when I think about it. I want to go next. How about Night of the Creeps? You need a remake. Make Rob Zombie do that one. We'll see that could be.
Very nice.
I think about it, though. Like, he doesn't really have too much, like, supernatural creature type stuff. So, like, I was trying not to put any stuff like that on there, but he can make it work if it's kind of minimal, right? He's not really CGI.
No, I think he can do it really good because he's going to cast some hot chicks to be at the sorority, and which obviously the real girl that's going to be the main character will be Sherry Moon Zombie because it always is. So you have to figure out who the other guy would be.
Tom Atkins can be Tom Atkins still. Let him play the cops.
Yeah, bring Tom Atkins in.
He didn't retire.
Thrill me. You got to get him in there. And what's I'm forgetting the kid's name who was in European Vacation.
Oh yeah, he's a Sean Clark client, I think.
The one that was Rusty from the European Vacation. I'm drawing a blank on him, but I'm trying to think of who in Rob Zombie's arsenal could do that.
Jason Lively.
William Haney, good idea. Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Yeah, I have to think about that. There's a good one too. The Mask.
Oh,
could you imagine?
That would be cool.
Little Nicky. Killer Clowns from Outer Space would be, oh God, that would be crazy.
Fuck it. Just throw Boogie Nights on the list, Pat. I didn't put it on there.
Holy
God, Boogie Nights. It would just basically be a porn.
Just
cut
out
any kind of acting. I'd be the first person there to watch it. I'm not knocking it. Big fan. Porn? Big fan. Everybody should own one. Slasher Fred. Man. I think That Weekend at Bernie's was inspired by an old urban tale about an office worker who dies and death goes unnoticed. Was it? I didn't know that. Is that true?
Oh, I didn't know
that. I didn't know. Not aware of that. So I guess my number 2 is next. My number 2, everybody knows this is one of my favorite films, but if it was redone by Zombie in that gritty grindhouse way that he usually does it, it might be passable. Now, you fans of this movie out there don't hate me because we're diehard fans of this. What if he did a remake of The Warriors?
Number 2,
you bastard.
Right up top. Number 2.
Look at you. Look at Brady.
Bastards.
I think he could pull a decent version of the Warriors off.
Especially because the way he handles his violence too.
That's what I'm thinking. Because if you watch the original Warriors, the fight scenes and the violence is very tame for what it was, and it's effective, and it's very good for the time frame that it came out in. It's one of my favorite movies. I'm not going to knock it by no means, but if you want an amped up version, which is what Zombie said gave us with Halloween 2007, okay, let's see how an amped up version of Warriors is. Could you imagine? And Slasher Fred, yeah, let's see how somebody comes out and sings the whole Warriors theme. Come out and play.
And you got to imagine what the soundtrack would be for that movie too, right? It'd be like, oh my God.
Yeah,
it would be insane. It would be insane.
And he would probably do In the City, which is the Joe Walsh song at the end. He'd probably just have somebody redo it. Have like freaking Slipknot redo it or something.
Yeah,
I knew Joe would like that.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Rob's in the house. All right.
International Man of Mystery, Rob Windsor. What's up?
Austin Powers.
The Lost Boys. I think he could make a fun version of the Lost Boys.
Interesting.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Frostbite said the same thing. Why
How
not?
about that? Maybe Fright Night? Oh no, that'd be bad. We already had a remake to Fright Night.
Oh no, he butchered. No, I guess I just do a two for just to catch up. I'll do.
What's your number two? What's your number two?
I'm gonna do my 3 and 2. Number 3.
Did you do 3 yet? Did we skip?
No,
I'm sorry.
Somehow he got skipped at the beginning, Pat.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, go into 2. I didn't realize it. My apologies.
No, it's okay. No big deal. My number 3 was gonna be The Cabin in the Woods from 2011. Imagine
that would be fun.
Take on all the different creatures and the animals and all that stuff. That'd be fucking to see if Rob Zombie.
I could see that. Sure,
that'd be dope. And okay, so this one was my number 2, but I'm gonna pull an audible. I'm changing it right now. I'm changing it to an honorable mention that I had. I'm gonna put it in my number 2 slot. I'm gonna go with Highlander from 1986. Yeah, the Kurgan. Imagine how much fun he would have with the Kurgan and the Highlander and the sex scenes and all that shit, the fighting and all the Scotland with all that stuff. Imagine Highlander being Rob Zombified. Imagine that.
That would be
Rob
fun.
Zombified.
Rob Zombified. That'd be dope.
I like it.
And for those that are Rob Zombie fans, we're Rob Zombie fans.
Absolutely.
This is not to knock it. We're just saying how fun would it be if he took a specific movie that we're thinking of and put his take on it, because we know he's got a certain style of things he does.
That's right.
And so it would be fun. Shit, if he came out and did a Highlander or like a Warriors, I'd go see that shit in a heartbeat, man.
Dude, imagine like the fight scenes would be more brutal, like his imagery and his the kill scenes would be amazing.
See, I don't follow hockey. Is the Stanley Cup going on?
Yeah, I just heard Gabriel said something about it too.
He's mentioned the Bruins. I'm like, I admittedly don't follow hockey.
Bruins had a real good season too. So
I'm assuming that's what it is.
See, our team here is rebuilding, so
I think that Rob Zombie should do a remake of the classic sci-fi movie It, the Terror from Beyond Space, which had inspired the movie Alien.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Have him remake Con Air.
Con
Air. Hey, that would be a hit.
Oh, here's a good one from Rob. Do the old school Hitchhiker. Remember the Hitchhiker from the HBO series?
Oh, that's right.
Put the buddy down or I'll skull fuck your ass. Yeah, just start screaming.
Rob's like,
God, Rob, that's brutal. I didn't realize. Yeah, because that was the best record in the NHL, wasn't it? I thought so.
Sounds like the Yankees.
Rob, I forget you're from that area. I will always give you guys credits because when we beat you guys in 2013 there. My wife and I went to Boston 2 weeks later, and I ran into a whole bunch of fans. They were super cool about it. So I'm a dumbass wearing Blackhawks stuff in there. Going to Fenway. But anyway.
So Brett, you got to give us your number 2.
I'm very sorry. My number 2?
Oh, was it the Warriors was your number 3, just like me?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Number 2. My number 2 was the Warriors, so you have to give your number 2. Was it the Warriors?
It was the Warriors, yeah.
Oh, that's right. So yeah, so we were both on. That's great. That's funny how we were both on the same page with that.
I was almost going to make it 1 too, and I was like, huh.
You know, I only didn't make it one for one reason, and you'll see why. Because the one that was the first one that came to mind, I'm like, oh god, I can only imagine if you redid this movie. And since your number 2 was the Warriors, and we're going back to me with my number 1. First one that popped in my mind, set the scene. If you haven't seen this, it's an older movie. Imagine Rob Zombie redoing Deliverance.
Wow, you're a sick bastard.
Could you imagine that whole scene? How it would play out if Rob Zombie did it?
Holy shit!
Squeal like a pig for me. I mean, come on. Holy fuck.
There's kind of a commonality between that movie and Rob Zombie's, directing style. It's kind of, they're in that same ballpark.
Yeah, true. But that would be that's the first one that popped into my head. Rob Zombie version of Deliverance.
Wow. That's crazy. That is crazy.
I can't imagine what that would can that movie even be R-rated? It's gonna have to be unrated or just.
Well, they'd probably have to scale it down, and then of course Rob would do like he always does, give his director's cut, and then you can't get the theatrical version anymore.
Look at what William Haney put there, Pat. Like that one. Look at that, guys. Speaking
of skull fucking, could you picture Rob Zombie? Oh God, making Full Metal Jacket.
Oh wow.
I'm surprised he would probably really do a real gritty version of a war movie.
Think about any of Kubrick's films. Like imagine if he did Clockwork Orange. That would be nuts.
Yeah. Oh, we could go down a rabbit hole. Let's. That was my number 1. Why don't you guys give your number 1s, and we can go down a rabbit hole, because I had a couple other ones I was thinking.
I have honorable mentions. Yeah, that's
sure.
Right.
So
my number 1, I had to think of it last second, and I just pulled an audible. But imagine, and I stepped away from the horror realm for a little bit. Just imagine him doing a remake of Home Alone.
Yes.
Imagine. Just play with it. Go
Kevin
with
McAllister isn't surviving.
Go with it though. Just imagine Marv and Harry, and then the whole just the ending where all the booby traps and all that shit. Imagine Rob Zombie doing Home Alone. Just imagine.
It would have to be set back in 2007, so Kevin McAllister would be like Dave Farrick.
Exactly. And then Home Alone 2, it'd be a more fucking crazier version of part 1,
Lost in the trailer park.
I was thinking of movies that had a good 1 and 2. They'd be remade Home Alone 1 and 2. Imagine that.
If you guys ever see that I have the Boogeyman.
I have it on DVD. Yeah,
that's
it was kind of a big deal when it came out.
Yeah, I have that on DVD. The Killer compilation, which has clips from what is considered to be the best horror bad guys. The opening song is performed by Zombie. Yeah, I haven't watched it in a minute, but I got it years ago. I have it. I have it on DVD. It's very good.
Why not?
Which one would he win an Oscar for? I'm sorry, Jesus, that would be crazy. Maybe Deliverance. Yeah, that would. I can really imagine that scene. Holy crap! With Ned Beatty, could you imagine?
Ned Beatty. Okay. I haven't seen that movie in a long time. I remember when I watched it, I was like, "What the hell did I just watch?"
Swinging solo blades instead of paint cans, and you think about it like this, the scene, because Rob Zombie, always had. Well, he's not in the band now; he's in Motley Crue. John 5. Could you picture John 5 in the movie being the banjo guy doing the dueling banjo?
You need some help. You need help.
Dude, guys, I've been drinking on and off since 11 a.m. Man, I apologize.
You go to hell.
So you go to hell, Patrick, right? So I went to band practice, and so I get a call from my bass player. His name is Mark. This morning he calls me. He's like, Pat, because we usually practice noon or 1 o'clock, but we wanted to practice early because just to practice every single song, because we're playing next Saturday rather. So he's like, man, I went to the liquor store. They weren't even open yet. What do you got in your liquor cabinet you can bring? So I'm like, so I brought the Red Stag and the rest of that Crown Royal vanilla. So that was how my day played out, along with beer and pizza.
Oh my God. That's pretty intense.
So that's why I came home. I mellowed out, relaxed. I made sure I was okay.
He watched Deliverance.
I watched Deliverance.
He's getting his mind right for the show.
I have to maybe for next week I'll locate it somewhere. I think I've told you guys this story where my buddy Mark, who's the bass player, we became friends through Scouts, because both of our sons were in scouts together. They're both Eagle Scouts now. And we were both scout leaders. I was scout master. He was assistant scout master. So, and every year we'd go to scout camp. We go for a week and stay at this place called Goose Pond Scout Reservation. It's about an hour from my house. And every Friday night, they have a closing ceremony where they give awards to people for outstanding stuff during the week. And then everybody gets up and does skits. Like each troop could do a skit. So, but they also have a point where the scoutmasters can come up and do something. So I brought the banjo. Mark plays the bass, but he also plays guitar. So we went up and did, instead of dueling banjos, we did dueling scoutmasters.
Wow.
And we played dueling banjos in front of in front of the whole camp. And people loved it. So the next day I'm sitting at breakfast with Mark and the scouts, and the head camp guy comes up to me. He's like, Pat, that was fantastic last night. He's like, I've been in charge of this camp for 20 years, and that's the most hillbilly fucking shit I've ever seen. And I loved every fucking minute of it.
That is awesome.
I have it videotaped somewhere. I'll have to find it and throw it up one day.
Oh my God.
That is funny.
So,
your band practices sounds like a lot of fun, Pat. No, just kidding.
Oh, it's usually, it's an all day affair. We go there, we hang out, we eat, we drink, we play.
You got band practice. You might need to go to band camp sometime.
There was this one time at band camp where I stuck a flute up my pussy.
Oh my goodness, he said the P word.
Whoa.
Whoa. And I'm a child here, okay? I'm a child. I have baby ears over here.
A shout out to all the great names are taken, because you ever watch their pre-produced videos, and every time they're about to curse, you always want to go edit.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm from New Jersey, New York. We talk with our hands and we curse every other word. So I apologize.
It's all good. It's all good in the hood.
Need a flute?
What do we got? We got number one here. I'll go. I'm just gonna throw it out there. Let's see
I
how
gotta
crazy
find that video.
Let's see how crazy he can go with Stand By Me. Just go stand by me.
Stand by me.
I'm sure everybody's dying somehow.
That fucking movie. It's a good movie.
I have a whole bunch. I couldn't make up number one. I threw them all out of order as we were talking, just because it's just been a great topic. It's just been priceless to listen.
I did the same thing. I kind of just said fuck it. I just fucking went off the rails.
So William Haynes says, "Have you seen Violent Night?" Oh yeah, we did a watch along on our old podcast.
Violent
Night. I loved it. Yeah, it's like dark Home Alone. Yeah, I liked Violent Night. I was pleasantly surprised. Really enjoyed that.
See him do Terrifier. You don't have to do it because it's already crazy. He doesn't need to do it.
There's nowhere else for him to go. Slasher Fred, I think that Rob Zombie should do a remake of the underrated 90s horror movies, Body Parts or Ghost in the Machine.
Interesting.
Very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, Body Parts. Definitely, man. Ooh.
Yeah.
I like Body Parts is great. I like Body Parts. And I think I threw up Rob's. He's watching. That's going to be funny shit. I'll dig that video out this week and I'll find it of me and Mark doing banjos.
What do you guys think? We didn't talk about this. Well, no, Joe, you still got yours, right? Let's, in case it's something that we might be doing. You got to go your number one, right?
No, I went Home Alone.
You did. Oh,
yeah.
That was your number one. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
He hasn't tackled an anthology movie. He should tackle an anthology movie.
That would be cool.
That would be cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if he had a certain amount of stories, maybe he could do a continuation of them. You know,
I was really like, I thought about this a lot. I was like, because he was given such a big franchise, an iconic fucking movie to remake, right? Fucking Halloween. I was like, how badass would it be for him to do fucking Friday the 13th?
Imagine Texas Chainsaw too, because that would be crazy too.
Take that, and like if you gave him one big fucking franchise, imagine what he would do with another one. The Texas Chainsaw is a good idea too, because it's kind of got that gritty feel too. Yeah, so imagine him coming in and doing a new fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre or some shit like that. That'd be
Rob, you must have came late. Yeah, Brady had that on his list. Halloween 3.
Yeah, Rob, but it would be quite interesting.
Beetlejuice would be fun.
Ooh,
all right, so here, I don't know if I found the Dueling Banjos video. Hold on one second. Let me know if you hear the audio on it, because I'm sharing it from Facebook from the Scout page.
I'll be right back, folks. I'll be right back. Go ahead.
All right, so I share this. Let me know if you hear this, Brett.
Oh God, yeah, that's right. You showed me this.
Do you hear the sound?
I don't.
Okay. So I guess when you share it, you can't hear the sound. So you don't hear the sound at all. You don't hear anything at all.
Nope.
All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna forget that for now.
You'll find it.
I'll find it and I'll just upload it so you can actually hear it because it's funny as hell.
You got a whole list of honorable mentions, or
I just had some ones that were in my head to just kind of do. Like I was like, how fun would it be if he did like an action movie, like if he did like a remake of Speed?
why not? Right? Yeah. Like
It would be like a bunch of hillbillies on a Winnebago that's got a bomb on it.
I would have said The Running Man, but 31 is kind of like The Running Man. If you remember 31.
Yeah, 30. It is very
31 is a
reminiscent of
pretty
The
good
Running
movie.
Man.
I like 31.
I like 31. He got a lot of, Rob Zombie. He gets a lot of shit for his movies. I find something I do like in each of them. Like even Lords of Salem, I like the creepy atmosphere of it. Not so much how it ends, how it plays out at the end. It was kind of underwhelming, but it's got some fun parts. But I enjoy 30. 31's is like a comfort food movie. If I see it on, I watch it because it's just like fun.
Oh, absolutely.
Fun, yeah. I didn't think he had to do a third movie to his series, though. I was kind of disappointed that he made another one of those because I thought that was little overdoing it. But
yeah, and the biggest thing is just seeing how bad Sid Haig looked because it was right at the end of his life from the cancer.
Oh yeah,
It was very sad. Albeit the scene that plays out in the the warden's house with Jeff Daniel Phillips as the warden.
Mm-hmm.
That whole scene plays out with who's it? Clint Howard shows up as a clown.
Yeah. Yes.
That's the guy from Assault on Precinct 13, right? Is the one guy that's at the house.
Yeah.
Yes.
Austin Stoker.
Right.
Yep.
That's right.
And the one girl who's naked, she runs out and she chases her and stabs the shit out of her on the front lawn. And that's the same naked girl from. She's the same naked girl from. Was it from? Help me out. From Devil's Rejects.
Was it her?
That was the same girl. The same girl that was naked that was in the shower.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it was the same girl in that.
That's
movie.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, she
don't know her name.
Stuck the shit out of her. Shit.
He could redo all the ones that he kind of does similar things to, like I Spit on Your Grave or Last House on the Left.
Yeah,
always some sort of torture stuff.
Could you imagine him doing like that? Oh God, could you? It would be brutal as hell. Oh my God,
those movies are brutal in itself.
It'd be fucked
up. And if he zombified them, holy shit!
Rob zombified him.
How about if he did a Magic remake? How about that? Anthony Hopkins movie.
That would be creepy as hell. Yeah,
I'm
surprised. There's never been a remake of Magic, has there been? I don't think there has been.
You know what? I don't know if it's because people might not like that the puppet wouldn't be anything. I think people would probably like it if he really was like alive instead of the ventriloquist being the killer. Yeah,
like go back and watch my Twilight Zone, shameless plug, where that's what happens. In the one episode, the guy eventually the dummy becomes the puppeteer. He takes over and the ventriloquist becomes the dummy.
That's right.
Interesting.
Rob Zombie's Friday the 13th 3D, zooming in and out on Sherry Moon's ass for the 3D effect.
That's funny. That's funny.
Joe, he could remake the movie we were just talking about. We like Surviving the Game. Let's see what he could do with that.
Hey, that would be good. That would be really good because it's in the hood. Like you're going from that and then to the woods. It can get real gritty. You get real dirty.
Yeah, Rob, Lord of Illusions.
Always check the barrel.
Yeah. Lord of Illusions
was that Clive Barker movie. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Hellraiser. What if he redid Hellraiser?
Ooh.
He did Dr. Satan. Remember, Dr. Satan was trippy looking.
Dr. Satan.
If he did like some new Cenobites and shit. Imagine that.
Who can he have played Dr. Giggles in his movie?
Oh, he could redo Darkman. How about Darkman?
Durant. Yeah.
Durant. Revenge of Durant. That's part 2.
Gotta find a good action movie for him though. Yeah, that was a good one, Pat, too. You're thinking about that.
If our buddy Jeremy was watching this and we went down the whole rabbit hole of the different Carpenter movies besides Halloween you could redo. Could you imagine him doing a version of Escape from New York?
That would be cool. But I don't know about
Brett's like,
I wouldn't want him to
comment.
touch it though.
No. Oh,
He's like, no.
He could probably do a good version of Prince of Darkness.
yeah.
Yeah.
That would be the only one in Carpenter's arsenal that he could probably maybe do something pretty interesting with.
Assault Precinct 13, even Christine.
Well, you
Let
mentioned
him do
Assault, which is
Christine.
definitely he could definitely do something good with it. But I think he could probably pull off a decent version of a Prince of Darkness.
Prince of Darkness. Yeah.
It's funny because it's like he could really do anything because whoever would have fucking thought he was gonna redo the Munsters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you take some
And
shit.
Prince of Darkness instead of Alice Cooper, he could play the Alice Cooper part himself. Would be interesting. Throw himself in the movie.
Yeah. Interesting.
Rob Windsor, E.T.
E.T. Oh shit. Oh shit.
Is that
Fucking Free
E.T.
Willy.
or the porn, the extra testicle?
Have him do a fucking piranha movie. Let's see how that goes.
Piranha movie.
That's funny.
Oh man, this has been a long day. I'm still pouring beers.
You're an animal.
He is an animal. You, sir, are an animal.
I'm not.
You
singing
tried to
the
make it with that
remake,
cow?
Yes.
Yeah, what's wrong with
How
me?
about he remakes White Men Can't Jump?
Yeah, you can't. He's like, you can't hear Jimmy. You listen. You can't hear him.
Dude, you imagine if he remade the Bad News Bears in his version too? Oh god.
Oh wow.
Oh God.
Or the Sandlot or something like that.
So who would be
Wendy Peppercorn.
who would be the manager out of his arsenal? We'd have to go with William Forsythe again.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably.
Okay.
I can see that.
How about he remakes Slapshot and see how that goes?
God.
No,
You know, actually, you know what movie is tailor made for a remake with a zombie remake? Death Race 2000.
Death Race 2000.
That would be interesting.
That's like tailor made for him.
I actually like the new Death Race. I thought it was pretty good.
I
Was
honestly
Statham?
I started watching it but didn't get all the way through it for something happened and I have to go back and rewatch the whole thing. I love Death Race 2000. It's such a great movie.
Carradine, right? Yep.
Carradine and Stallone.
Did they just remake it with Statham? Is that the one you're talking about?
Yep.
Death Race?
That's the remake. Yep.
That was pretty cool.
Ryan under sleepaway camp. Yeah, right. Thanks for watching our latest top 5 from an episode of That Horror Movie Podcast. We do That Horror Movie Podcast every Sunday night live at 8 p.m. on this channel. And every week we feature a top 5 that we all do together and share live with everybody in the chat. So if you have any ideas, by all means, drop them in the comments below. Like this video. It helps everybody find this channel. Be sure to like and subscribe to this channel. And we will see you on Sunday nights.